Welcome back to another live watch along. Today we have LAFC versus ES Tunis. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I need to double check and make sure. Let me get the slide on. This is a big game for LAFC, guys. They have to win this match if they want to advance out of the group stage because of the upset we saw today where Flamengo beat down Chelsea 3-1. What an incredible game that was. And honestly, kind of scary thinking about what LAFC have to do in the next match. But yeah, I mean, Europe's on fraud watch, guys. And I'm going to make a video about that later. But Europe is on full fraud watch after what we've seen the last couple days. LAFC come out with a strong starting 11. Let me just pull this up real quick. They started Olivier Giroud, which they had to because they need the 3 points in this game. They brought up Olivier Giroud. David Martinez is starting on the right wing. Bouanga is obviously starting. They're running it back in the midfield with Tillman, Igor Jesus, and Marky Delgado. And they're running it back with Palencia, Aaron Long, Segura, and Ryan Hollingshead in the back line. This is their strongest lineup this team can put together. This is what they needed to do in order to win this match. This game's in Nashville, by the way. Looks like there's not much of a crowd for this game either. But this is the lineup that they needed in case they wanted. If they want to make it out of the group, they have to go all in. Have to win. Can't just get a draw. Have to get 3 points and win this game. We'll see how they bounce back. But man, Flamengo is scary. Beating Chelsea 3-1. How surprised were you by that Chelsea ended up losing 3-1? I'm telling you guys, we just have never compared Europe to the other leagues, or not really ever seen a good comparison, because Europe only plays Europe. South America only plays South America. So we finally got a chance to see what they could do when they're faced against each other in a tournament, not just the FIFA Club World Cup of old where it's just one team, single elimination. This is different. And I think South America deserves some flowers. Guys, if you haven't, make sure you like the stream down below. It helps us out. Share with a friend. You know the goal, 50 before halftime, 100 by the end of the stream. Smash the like button down below, share with a friend, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're 25 subscribers away from 7150. 25 away from 7150. Sub if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 8K by the end of the FIFA Club World Cup. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the little bell notification. Nick will be joining us at some point during the game. I think he's going to come probably closer to halftime. He had to work, but he will be joining us at some time. Let's read some of your comments. Amy says, good afternoon. The stadium is empty for LAFC versus Tunis because it was supposed to be Club Lyon. Well, I mean, LAFC also having to travel so far away is definitely not ideal. They're playing 3,000 miles away from their stadium. It's not easy for a lot of fans to travel in 2 consecutive games. Cringe, a member of the chat or the channel, says, hi, Will. This tournament has surpassed all expectations. European teams are getting punched in the face, and the cope is crazy. I'm not, making fun of all European fans, but some of them are just being very, very big babies about it, honestly. They just can't handle the fact that South American teams might be better than they thought. Chelsea losing 3-1 is pretty embarrassing, especially when you check the spending difference between Flamengo and Chelsea. It shouldn't even be close. Maybe it says Inter Miami set us forward 20 years. LAFC are about to set us back 30. Oh God, I hope not. I hope they're able to beat Tunis. I mean, they should be able to beat this team. I mean, there's some serious issues if they lose this match. I don't think they will, but we'll see what happens. Danny says, I really feel like LAFC can make it out of their group. Listen, they got to win this game, and they're going to have to at least get a draw. Well, actually, they'll probably have to win. Nick's here earlier than I thought he'd be. Nick, what's going on?
What's up, man?
You got here earlier than I thought you would.
Yeah, I got here earlier than I thought I would.
Nice. I just, I don't know if you saw the starting 11.
I did. Stoked on that, bro.
That's exactly what I wanted. Giroud and
that Martinez and Giroud got the start. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted, man. Dave, that was my perfect starting 11 right there. David Martinez and Olivier Giroud starting up top. you can tell Nick is fired up about this. He's not even sweating it, guys. He knows this is do or die, but he ain't sweating it.
It's do or die. I mean, Chelsea did not show up for us today. So LAFC has no choice to win and then win Tuesday. Like,
they got to win both.
Bro, they got to win both. And that's a big deal.
Let's see, we got a couple comments real quick. I've been talking some smack about Europe because they've been coming up small, man. Flamengo punched Chelsea in the mouth, dude, and took their lunch money.
Took their lunch money.
Dude.
I need to turn the game on because I just got in here. I didn't. Let me grab my remote real quick.
No, you're good. You're good. Got some comments anyways to read. Botafogo beat PSG. Flamengo destroyed Chelsea. Unbelievable. South America is up. I'm telling you right now. Brazil League might be fit. Brazil League is probably 5th best in the world. Might be 4th. I'm telling you, top to bottom, might be the 4th best league. Brazil is up big time right now. Maybe Ant says LAFC would have to win today and take points from the team that leads the group. Chelsea probably isn't dropping points to this team. Yeah, they got to win this, and they're going to have to win against Flamengo if they want to advance. DT3 says this has got boring 0-0 written all. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't, because if they do, it's over. Nick says, hey, LA, don't screw the pooch. Vamos Inter Miami. Timothy Park says, Will, you happy that Abobase isn't starting? I'm over the moon about it, man, because Giroud is the only chance his team has. He's got to get on the pitch. He's got to contribute. He's got to, create chances, possibly score, or it's over. It's over. TL says all the excuses from European fans have been hilarious so far. In the old Club World Cup format, the South American teams used to be exhausted too and never complained about it when they lost. They didn't. Yeah, the European fans are being they're being babies about it, honestly. A lot of them are. Not all of them. Some of the ones making excuses are. Maybe Ant says, as a Galaxy fan, I want all MLS teams to do well since it all benefits the league, but I don't see this team being as good as LAFC fans think they are.
Oh.
Taking a dig at you.
Taking a bit of a dig. That's all right. I get it. I would probably, to be fair, I'd probably say the same thing. Probably say
Man, what's crazy though, Nick, is that we were talking before how LAFC had the best chance of making out of their group out of all the MLS teams. Yeah. And today just made things almost damn near impossible.
Damn near impossible. And they did, Flamengo did no favors for us. I mean, look, we all knew that game was going to be difficult. Right. We all knew that. However, we expected that, LAFC was going to show up in this game and it was going to be a real fight come Tuesday. Now it's, both games are going to be a fight. There is no doubt about it, but they have to win this game, by, I think, 3. Yeah. And then they have to go and at least win against Flamengo. I think it's by 2. It's going to be a difficult task, bro. And so, the way that they played today really did a number for us, you know what I mean? And really made it where it's hard for us to have a real chance. But we'll see what happens in this game. And we'll look forward to Tuesday. And hopefully – Flamengo takes it a little light because they think like they're already in, and we can do something. But it's going to be a big challenge, and I think the boys are up for it. It would be nice for LAFC and Miami to get out of these group stages, but we got to see how we play today, and that's just what it is, man. I mean, when you look down at the score and you see what it was. Flamengo against Chelsea, you're like, no way. I'm looking at this wrong. There's no possible way. And you refresh and you say, oh, no, that's right. And it's just what a bummer that is,
Hey, by the way, we officially kicked off, guys. Sorry, it's been, there's just so much to unpack here, especially because of all the crazy stuff that's happened today. Let me know down below who's going to win this game. Mr. said he thinks LA's got 2-1. It's going to have to be a bigger
Ooh.
win than that for them, I think, if they want to advance. What do you guys think this prediction or the score line is going to be for LAFC versus ES Tunis? Let us know down below. Must-win game. Nick, I think LAFC are going to win 2-0.
Man.
Which is a good game, but that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard to beat a team 3-0 in this tournament, unless you're Auckland.
Sure. No, for sure. 2-1, 2-0. I mean, I like both of your. I see. I'm sort of with that one right there. Comfortable win, 3-1, but 3-1 isn't enough. It's not enough, and so it's against us, guys. It's against us, and that's a shame.
You know what's sad is that
this is at Nashville and not at LAFC.
Well, that is sad, but here's what's really sad and what really sucks, right? LAFC could win both of these games and still not make it out of their group.
Exactly. That is a problem, though.
Yeah.
Like, that absolutely sucks to think that is, you could win both games. But, for example, let's just say that the 3-1 comes. And then we go and we win against Flamengo 2-1. Well, we're still missing a goal there. And so now you're left without, you beat two teams, but you're missing that one goal difference. And, yeah, man, that's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, because they're doing it based on head-to-head. And then if there's a tie with that, they're going to go with goal difference. Yeah. And if LAFC had only lost to Chelsea 1-0, they'd be in a good spot right now. But that 2-0 loss really, really hurt them, especially after today. And so, because you got to think, Flamengo is up 4. They have a 4-goal difference right now based on their 2 matches. I mean, they're in the driver's seat. They're going to advance. LAFC have to hope that Chelsea lays an egg against Tunis next game.
Not going to happen.
Which is probably not going to happen because Chelsea's going to be motivated after getting beat down by Flamengo. And by the way, guys, if you haven't seen, Flamengo has been absolutely clowning Chelsea on Twitter. I'm talking like 15 to 20 memes talking about how bad. Oh, dude, they've been killing them on Twitter. They've been killing them. I'm telling you, like Bugs Life, calling them ants, smashing ants. Dude, I'm telling you, they've been killing them on Twitter. Like, posts have been getting 100,000 likes. It's been real bad.
So actually, we have to match Chelsea's win over us for Flamengo. We have to have anything over a 2-0, right?
Yeah.
So if we win 2-0 against Flamengo, which is a tall task, then we make it in.
Oh. Was on a foul on. He just fouled Larice, didn't he? Guys, by the way, we're at 15 likes. Let's get to 25. There's 45 of you in the chat. You know our goal is to hit 50 before halftime. Smash the like button if you haven't already, and sub to the channel if you haven't already. We got many more watch-alongs to do for the FIFA Club World Cup, and you don't want to miss any of them, especially the post-game recap, which we will be doing after this match, good or bad. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the little bell notification so you never miss a video. I got a couple members comments I need to read. Mr. says, I was glad to see Jorginho playing for Flamengo earlier. I was too. I think, Flamengo just looked incredible. Incredible.
Good. The thing is they're a good team, bro. They're not, they're not easy team, even in the Brazilian league. Like, to be fair, if I watch the Brazilian league, they're the team that I actually usually watch.
Flamengo? Yeah. They're better than people think. And Rando says Brazil teams are on fire. They are owning European clubs. They are. They are, man. I'm telling you, the biggest winners of this tournament so far has been Brazil. The Brazilian clubs have been the biggest winner. And the biggest losers, honestly, all the European teams are kind of, minus Bayern, aren't really, in Man City, they're not doing terribly. But Europe as a whole, really has impressed in this tournament. And honestly, I think that the Portuguese league has really taken a hit, man. They've lost. I don't think they've won a game yet.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of their games, and their league has really took a hit the last 4 or 5 years.
The Portuguese league?
Yes. They've took a big hit, man. And, it's they have a lot of in-house problems on teams and people not getting their money and this and that. And you've seen it affect the league a little bit also. And, it's unfortunate, right? Because it's a fun league. It's a very passionate league. But when you have problems like that of players complaining about not getting their money and this and that, it's no good. It's no good. And then you're just going to see a downward spiral of play and all that stuff. And we've seen that. That's what you've seen the last little bit. And this tournament, as you said, has really shown how far they actually have fallen. And it's sad to see, man, honestly.
No, it is for sure. I mean, they're known as a probably the second best, the best league that's not the top 5 leagues is what a lot of people thought. The step up league, right? The league where people are buying young up and coming talent to make that move to the Big 5 league.
That's right.
Man, they've taken a huge, like you said, they just taken a huge. I look at them in a completely different light after this tournament. Now, another member of the channel, Cringe, had a question for both of us. He says, "Question, guys. With these teams having a good showing, do you all think it'll help raise our profile as a league?"
Yes, I do. 100%. I do. We talked about this on my show, right? Like, if you really look at the quality of games that the MLS teams have played, even speaking about the Sounders, they're out of the tournament, but who they did lose to was big time teams. And it wasn't a smashing, right, Will? Like we even talked about it. It wasn't like a 5-0, 6-0 type of wins. It was, 2-0 or 2-1 or whatever. And it was quality play from the MLS teams. Like a lot of people were giving me crap for our last show because we were saying how well LAFC played against Chelsea. And, at the end of the day, yes, the score ended up being a 2-0, but we're talking about a ginormous team, a team that has $1.6 billion. We hammered this through the week from our show. 1.6 billion compared to a $53 million team. And when you only lose 2-0 and the second goal comes at the last the 80th minute or something, bro, that's a good game for an MLS team that's competing with some team that's like that. So, and as I said, you look at the Seattle game, you see Miami just beat Porto. Porto is a good freaking team, bro. A really good team, and Miami put them out of the tournament. So I think that hopefully Don Garber is seeing what is happening and saying, hey, we should add a little bit of that money. Oh, man. And, and put a little bit more respect on MLS where, people from around the world will see and say, you know what, I want to start watching this league a little bit more. How do you feel about that, Will?
I think that like I said a minute ago, I think that every non-European team has raised their profile in this tournament, except for Auckland. I think everybody looks better now. And I said this, and I'm going to talk about this later. I actually got a video planned tonight, guys, just a sneak peek. I'm going to do a video tonight with Favi talking about how Europe is on fraud watch. Because yes, Europe is great. We all know this. But when you're comparing it to itself, how can you tell how good South America is? How good can you tell MLS is if you're just comparing it to one? Europe is comparing itself against it's comparing Europe versus Europe. Now we get to see all these other teams and leagues play against each other, and it just shows how much better they truly are. Not better like Brazil's not better than the top teams in Europe, but they're closer than people thought. People thought the gap was maybe this far, but I think it's maybe this far. Like, I don't think it's as big as people thought it was. I think Brazil deserves a lot of respect, man. They are by far the best nation at developing talent, and that's a fact. They got more players in international leagues than any other country in the world. They are the best at developing talent in the world. So it's not crazy to think that they could be the 5th best league in the world. I think they are. You take PSG out of the French league, it's not even close. The Brazilian league clears the French league.
Yeah, I agree. You know, look, I have a problem with when it's a one-team league, right? Like I've watched a lot of Ligue 1, and you know, look, I'm a City Eye guy, and one thing I love about it is any year it could be anyone's game. That's what I love about it. Yes, there's times that Juve and them have ran off with it, or Inter or whatever, multiple years. But you know, you look at the last few years, it's been a different team. You know, Napoli, no one expected them to win this year, but they did, and that's what I love about it. When you look at Ligue 1, where you know PSG just dominates, bro. They just dominate. And every once in a while, you might have a team that sneaks in there, and then next year it's right back to PSG. And so, you know, to put that league above a lot of others, it confuses me sometimes because I'm not quite sure. Yes, they have huge names there, you know, the likes of when Messi and Neymar and Mbappe were all on the team together. That was amazing. But, you know, is it the best league? I'm not so sure, you know, and you know, where the Premier League, you know, as I just mentioned a minute ago, $1.6 billion for a team, bro, that's incredible. But you put that 1.6 billion on other leagues, that league is also going to be equally as good. You know what I mean? Like if you're bringing that type of talent. So, you know, I've watched Premier League, but it is not the league that I find to be the most fun to watch. It's not. I think fans are better in other leagues. I think the fans are better in Serie A. I think they're better in La Liga. You know, you're like, oh, well, you're talking about fans, because I think fans and the product on the field, I think all that matters. You know, I like seeing the flags. I like hearing the chants. I like seeing the drums. And that makes the environment better for the viewing on TV. And then when the quality of football or soccer, whatever you want to call it, matches the energy out there that the fans are putting, that's what I like to see. I don't really care to watch people sitting down and just rooting for you know what I mean? Like,
Mr. Mister, you hear this? He's calling you a sitter, man. He said you just
no, I did not say Mr. Mister. Don't put that on me. Me and Mr. Mister are good. I like Mr. Mister.
He's calling you a sitter, man.
A lot. He understands the game, and I guarantee you he ain't someone that sits. I bet you he stands. I bet you he chants the whole time. I bet you he has all the beers at the pub before because they can't have beers at it, and then after he goes back to the pub to finish that beer that he didn't get to finish before. After, you know what I mean? Like, Mr. Mister is a real guy. Don't get it twisted.
Cute Kenny, our biggest LA Galaxy fan of the channel, says,
here we go.
Hope Chivas USA loses.
Come on, man. You should be rooting for an MLS team. Stop it.
He was rooting against Inter Miami too last night.
I know. He's a hardcore Carson fan.
Let's see. Kathy says, why French League sucks. Only 2 spots in the Champions League for the last 20. Oh, God, you got to finish that. Come on. Oh, Giroud. Is it offside? Ah, it's offside. Damn. They're threatening.
Was it offside? For Bouanga?
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Bouanga was offside. Barely, but he's offside.
Can we just talk about, you already are seeing a different quality play with Giroud out there. This is what I've nailed down. This is what I've said over and over, Will. You're seeing the hold-up play for this last, 10 minutes. You've seen him holding him up. That right there, he knew exactly where he needed to be. I just like him being a starter. I get it, man. He's there for the, for these big type of games, and people need to put a little bit more respect on this guy's name.
No, I agree 100%. I want to get back to Coffee's question or comment. Sorry, Coffee, just Drew almost scored. We had to tune in, see what's going on, lock in. Only 2 spots in the Champions League for the last 20 years, while all the neighbor countries get 4. Also, very high tax rate, no investment income in French league because of that. I thought they get 3 though. I thought that some of the leagues get 3. I know that the Premier League, I think Serie A and La Liga get 4, but I thought like the Bundesliga and the French league get 3. I could be wrong about that. I think they can change it though. I think it's based on performance at the Champions League. Mister said he had a crying, laughing emoji about
He
you
knows
calling him
it.
a sitter.
He knows it.
Dang, dude, we're getting crazy in here. Twilight says cute Kenny is a troll clown out the loser.
Oh,
Hey man, he's just a dedicated LA Galaxy fan.
he's a hardcore Galaxy fan. Or whoa. Galaxy fan or Carson, whatever you want to call it, but respect to him. You know why? Because he supports that club no matter what.
You hear what he just said right here?
I got respect for that.
He says the only thing he has nice to say about Chivas USA is they actually earned their place, unlike Miami.
Now I'm sitting here having your back there, Kenny. All right, I'm giving you respect. Come on. You're ahead of me. Oh my God!
Are you watching on DAZN?
Yeah.
You might need to refresh your stuff. What's your time?
17, or I'll have to see.
Yeah, I'll tell you when mine's up. The attack already looks better, but listen, we have to put it into perspective of who they're playing. Obviously, the attack is going to look better against Tunis than Chelsea. I'm at 1732.
All right, yeah, I'm at 1731. You're not that far ahead.
Yeah, but they're supposed to look better. But you know what? The way that they're looking right now, they could win this game 3-0. They could.
Yeah. I do want to say this though. Tunis did not look bad against Flamengo.
No, they look better than Chelsea did.
They really did not look bad, bro. And so, again, as I kept telling the guys in the LAFC chat, bro, let's don't take this lightly. Like this team needs, we cannot overlook them. We cannot. No. It's you gotta give respect on it. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, what I'm seeing, I feel like we're giving them that respect, and that is a good sign for LAFC. Look at that run from David. Oh.
Mr. says, like I said to Nick the other day, Lacazette would so fit this LA team.
I was going to mention that on here. Yeah, he wrote me a thing about it, and I got to doing some deep diving, and that's not a bad shot out at all whatsoever.
Cringe says, what kind of handle is this? The cute Kenny. No, Lacazette was actually, I think he plays at Marseille, or he did play at Marseille.
Go ahead.
No, he was linked with the Galaxy for a little bit, like a year ago before they signed Gabriel Peck and Paintsel. He was rumored to be potentially signing with them. Maybe they got the LA teams mixed up. Maybe he was a potential target for the LAFC, but then Giroud signed with them, and they obviously went with him instead.
Could be.
Oh, what a pass! Oh, LAFC. I mean, they look a lot better in the final third than they did against Chelsea.
Yeah, of course,
which is expected.
Yeah,
they got to get 3 goals today, guys. They got to get 3 goals.
And I'm already worried because we're at the 20-minute mark. I would have liked to seen that one count. I would have liked to seen that one count because then 3 is really I mean, 3 is attainable. I'm not saying it ain't, but you know what I mean? Like when you have this type of game, high energy, high intensity, you know, so much on the line, it would have. They're making some good quality shots though, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree. User32 says, talking of MLS, kudos Inter Miami on the first win. LAFC on the good game against Chelsea. I wish all MLS teams good games, wins, and progression beyond the group stage.
Yeah.
Which are you an MLS fan, User32? Are you a fan of another league? Who's your team? TL says this is a fun game so far. Chances for both sides. Yeah, this game is definitely not slow or tense.
Mm-hmm.
They're both going for it.
You know, I'm interested. How many people in the chat, like, this is a tournament that you look forward to watching, or is it something that this is more of like your first year following it all the way through? I'm sort of interested on how people feel about it, because I tell you, this has been an exciting tournament. And I'm not sure if it's because LAFC's in it and I have someone to root for, or if it's just like, you know, they're here and you're hearing all the complaining about the heat and this and that. Like, I'm not sure what it is, but I've enjoyed keeping up with this Club World Cup this year.
No, I have to. Have you noticed? Look at the field right now. Look where Denny Bouang is, and look where David Martinez are.
Yeah,
they've switched.
Yep.
They didn't do that at all.
That goes back to how it used to be when Carlos Vela and Diego Rossi. Do you remember they used to constantly switch? Keep Dio up top. They would constantly switch. Never knew where they were going to go. It was almost like they would go down and then come back in on a different side. I like that they're doing that.
Yeah, you didn't see that last game. You didn't see that at all last game. So that's a nice little change. Let's see. Mr. says he was at Lyon talking about Lacazette. Yep. He's out of contract, available on a free on June the 30th. And guess what, guys? We got to mention this too. There's been some steam. There's been some rumors that Thomas Muller to LAFC might be gaining traction. Now, personally, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I think the last thing that this team needs is another old guy up top. They need some youth. They're also rumored, Nick, I don't know if you saw this, they're actually there's some talks about them going for a DP midfielder from Brazil. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, his name is God, what is his name? He's like 27 years old. I think his transfer market value is about 5 million euros. He seems okay, but I think that they could, I don't think midfield is their issue. They need a striker. They need someone who can score consistently up top. Now, Giroud, obviously, we'll see what he can do the rest of this tournament. But, I mean, I feel like that would be a wasted spot if they use that on a striker. They need to get, a midfielder. I think Delgado, Igor Jesus, Tillman are fine. I think they got to get I think they need to get some more center back depth, and they need to get a striker. That would be my two priorities this summer.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about Brian Mueller here. I mean, look, I get it. He's a very good player, but I'm like you. I don't want us to constantly be bringing in, too many older guys by any means. I see a lot of people are saying that they're first-time watchers. Dude, that's pretty cool. Even if you go up a little bit, the guy said Miami fan, first-time watcher. Another one, he's here for the gambling. I mean, it just sort of shows you, right? Like it comes into the States and then more people are wanting to know about it. And I say that, but then with the question of it also, I wonder if it's because of the World Cup coming here that now people are starting to be a little bit more interested in what's happening soccer-wise. Again, this is playing in Nashville. Nashville isn't part of this game, but yet it's playing there. The stadium isn't full, but again, it makes people wonder, like, what the hell is going on at the stadium? Let me check out and see what this game is about. You know what I mean? Yeah. And seeing in the chat, people saying first-time watcher, or first year carrying it. And the other one said, hey, he's watching every single game. So, it's just building blocks, bro. Building to say, hey, look, we here in America are interested in this, and I want to either learn more, watch more, and try to get to understand these clubs a little bit more. You know what I mean?
You reading that?
Okay. All right. You know what, Mr. Carson Kenny? I'm not going to even start with you today, okay? No, joking aside, what's wrong with our keeper? Our keeper, I mean, he's possibly out. He's possibly out at the end of this year. I think Hugo has been a great addition. I think he's done good for LAFC. That's why we gave you guys your guy, right, John. And I think I think he's done a good job. So we're just going to stay with what we got, and hopefully he doesn't leave. I really don't want him to leave, if I'm honest with you. I think he's been a great addition, but it's going to come to.
I think he's got 2 years left in him.
I think he's going to have to.
Mr. says Muller's not a 9. He's a secondary striker. Exactly. And that's what they need. They need someone to play underneath. They need someone to play underneath Giroud. But I don't trust Thomas Muller to be that guy. I think now this would be an interesting question. I don't know which the chat thinks, what you think. Between Thomas Muller and Marco Reus, who is the better player in their prime? You know, I think Marco Reus won the Bundesliga Player of the Year like 3 or 4 times. But I bring Marco Reus up because they're the same age. They got him on a team-friendly deal, Marco Reus, and he's been a disaster for the LA Galaxy. He's not been very good. He's had a couple games where they were good, but they've relied on him, and he's not been good enough. LAFC can't afford to make another old head signing that doesn't contribute.
Yeah. Someone asked about the games and interruptions for MLS because of weather, Will. And so they must not watch too much MLS. But we do have in certain areas really bad weather.
Oh, God, Drew. David Martinez, let's go. Is he on? Dude, there's no way. They got to review that. He was onside. 100%. 100%. Yeah, he was 100% onside. Go to the VAR booth. Go look at that. He was onside.
And who'd that start with, Will?
Olivier Giroud.
Who was that?
Tillman found him. Olivier Giroud. Damn, was he onside?
He's on right there.
He looks onside to me. Dude, he was onside. They need to go check that out. He looked onside to me. Chat, was he onside? Okay, Hockey says 100% onside. You're going to go look at this? How are they not even looking at that?
Sorry. Unbelievable.
You good? I'd be pissed too. You just got robbed out of a goal.
2 pulled back. I mean, you should have at least looked at that one, bro.
How are you not looking at that?
It's too big of a game not to look at. Nice little nutmeg.
You know what's funny?
There.
They fouled. Noah Allen fouled. Okay. I guess he was offside. Yeah, I guess he was offside. Damn you, VAR. Damn you, goal line technology and offside technology. But you know what, guys? Listen, they're threatening. So I think, based on the trend of this game, they're going to find the back of the net. They just got to find 3 times, though. They're going to find it 3 times. But this team looks a lot more lively in the attack with Olivier Giroud, with David Martinez on the right side. They already look 100 times better. Abobase couldn't do anything in this game. He wouldn't do anything in this game.
Giroud looks good. Question is, does he have the 90?
Well, that's another thing. If you do give him the 90, you need him for Flamengo.
Yep. I don't think you give him the 90, bro. And I hate to say it. Because, as I said, I'm a Giroud fan, but you can't give him the 90. It's hot in Nashville.
It is hot in Nashville. I would say that
you can't let him cramp. You can't take that chance of not being able to have him against Flamengo.
Well, also too, I think that they're doing a hydration break. I think that LAFC need to try to just go absolute guns blazing, balls to the wall, try to get 2 or 3 goals in the first 60 minutes. Then you can start resting guys, play more defensively. That's what they really, really need to do. Ashkin says LAFC are not going through. Flamengo and Chelsea are too strong. It's a tough battle. I can't lie to you. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. You know, if I told you it was, I'd be lying to you. It's going to be a tough challenge. You got Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman in the building, by the way. We'll see what happens. We'll see what adjustments they make. But you think there's any chance we see the young kid today, the new guy? He's not young, I guess. He's 27, but the new guy?
Possibly, right? He might be who comes in when Giroud needs to come out.
And moved Bouanga up top, or maybe put him up top?
Yeah.
I think Bouanga could be good up top, man, honestly.
We know Ordaz is out, so.
Yeah. Mr. says the Tunis keeper looks dodgy, and he also looks really small. He looks I was thinking he looks a little lanky, you know, like not that really matters. There's been really good goalkeepers in throughout the history of the game who are lanky, but he looks shaky. He looks tiny. He looks frail. I think they should just start firing absolute missiles at this dude and just see what happens. I don't think he's going to be able to hold up the whole game. Cute Kenny even acknowledges, he says the refs are helping Tunis.
What? Whoa.
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
Even he can't deny it.
Kenny, are we feeling okay?
He's got an LAFC scarf on right now.
No, we don't. No, we don't. That we know that one for sure. But
I think that's So based on what I've heard explained to me, is that the 2 teams that go through is based on tiebreakers on head-to-head. That's what's based on. The first thing is head-to-head tiebreaker, and then if that is even as well, then it goes on goal difference. So LAFC have to score a bunch of goals because they're -2 right now. So even if they win 3-0, they're only +1 goal difference. Right now, Chelsea is even right now. They're after their 3-1 loss to Flamengo, they're even in goal difference. So if they absolutely smoke Tunis 3-0, they're +3. That's why LAFC really need to get 3 goals here, and they're going to have to probably beat Flamengo 2-0.
Yeah.
In order to advance. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of that. I got to be honest. I am not a fan. Ooh. Man, I just want to say, Will, thanks for having me here, bro. This is a good time. I enjoy doing these watch-alongs with you, man. The chat here is absolutely fantastic. Even Kenny, you know, we when I come on, he likes to give me some shit, but I expect that, you know what I mean? And it's fun. No, truthfully, I enjoy it. And so it's fun seeing the difference of opinions in the chat, but then everybody being, you know, keeping it respectful and everything, because look, we're all wanting this league to grow, and we're wanting to push our teams, and it's fun. And you know, I appreciate you having me here, dude, and I appreciate the chat being welcoming. And you know, look, guys, make sure that you guys are hitting that thumbs up for Will. This dude puts in a freaking ton of work for this league, and sometimes it goes unnoticed, and it shouldn't. And he has great content daily or weekly, I meant to say. Not just
now, man.
Dailies as of right now, but you know, not just watch-alongs. The dude puts in some really good videos too. So hit that subscribe. He's almost to his goal. What's your goal right now? 8,000, right?
Yeah, we're gonna try to hit 8K by the end of both tournaments. I think we can do it. I mean, we've gained 200 subs since last Friday, which is crazy. That's great growth, and We posted. I did a live watch along yesterday, and then I did a recap to the Inter Miami game, and then a recap to the USMNT game. So 3 videos yesterday. There's going to be 2 today. We're going to do the recap after this game, and then I got a video coming out tomorrow about Europe being frauds. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, the growth is crazy. I mean, this is the biggest MLS account there is, content creator. We're the biggest there is.
But he can't do it without you guys.
It's because you guys.
He can't do it without you. And so it's important that you guys show the support. If you're in this chat, and I don't know how many we have watching right now, but
83.
Guys, just do him a favor and hit that thumbs up button. You know what I mean? And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do, because it helps him. It helps the league grow. And, for us, podcasters and everything that do this, that's what we really strive for, is to make sure that you guys are entertained, get the information that you want to know about whatever team it is that you follow. And then someone like Will that does it all, you just get extra content, bro. So do that man a favor and hit that like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, because as he just said, he's uploading a ton of content.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We're just in the beginning of this. We still, and Josh, I'll get to your question here in a second about the USMNT, but let's see what we are. I think we're our goal is always to hit 50 likes before halftime. We're at 34. So we got 10 minutes. We need 16 more likes. We got 80 of you in the chat. Smash the like button if you haven't already. There's a lot of you guys watching who haven't done that. Make sure you like the video down below, the stream down below. Got to hit 50 before halftime. Subscribe if you haven't already, like Nick said. It helps us out. We got a lot of content coming out for you guys. Josh asked me a couple times. He says, how do you think the USA is doing in the Gold Cup? I mean, I don't think they're doing bad, but I don't think they're doing good. I don't really know how they're doing so far. They're just there's a lot of uncertainty with the team. We won't know how good they are until they play a good team like Canada or Mexico. But, the team we saw against Switzerland and Turkey was not good. So they're playing against a bunch of scrubs right now. The game yesterday really wasn't that good. They were able to win, but it wasn't great. So we'll find out when they get into the knockout round how good this team truly is. But right now, it's TBD, to be determined. Q Kenny says, at the end of the day, we're going to support Will. Q Kenny's, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. Like I said, biggest LA Galaxy fan of the channel. And I really appreciate it. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Guys, this is just the beginning. Think about this for a second. We have the rest of this tournament. We haven't even gotten into all the transfer stuff that's going to happen this summer. That's going to be coming flying at us, 100 miles an hour when that starts ramping up. All the teams making DP signings, and hopefully it's not a slow summer. But when the signings start rolling in, we talk about all the moves the teams have made in the summer. And then we'll have, I'm not really excited about Leagues Cup this year. You guys know how I feel about that. We'll see what happens with that. But, we still have a lot. We got the MLS Cup playoffs still at the end of this year. I mean, there's still so much soccer left in this country, or in this this calendar year. This is just really the beginning.
Absolutely. We got Leagues Cup coming up.
DT3, listen, we're down bad, man. We're down. Yes, Canada and Mexico is considered good. I mean, in our tournament, it is. I mean, that's the best teams you can play. I mean, yes, we're down bad. I mean, that's what we consider a challenge these days. I don't even know if we can beat them. Ashkin says Weston McKennie and Tim Weah both play for Juve in this FIFA Club World Cup. Yes, they do. Skyline says, I'm just pissed. Tickets are so expensive for the World Cup. Probably can't even afford tickets by the time they are for sale. Oof.
It's ridiculous. That should not be. That's just a shame. It really is a shame how expensive those tickets are. To be fair, it's freaking disgusting. Because any other country, they're cheap because soccer is cheap or football is cheap for them to play, Here, it costs you a ton of money to get your kids involved in it. It costs a ton of money for them to play travel or, club ball. And it's a shame. It really is. If there's a complaint about growing the sport and having a young kid, that would be it. It's the amount of money that they have, that these parents, us parents, have to pay in order for your kid to be on a competitive team. Sorry, I'm passionate about that because I have a daughter and I've been looking into it, and it is expensive.
No, it is. Katie Burns says, "Hey, just joining to say both teams playing like ass." That's your friend, right? Or Katie Burris? Is that a friend of yours?
Oh, Katie. Well, she ain't lying. She is
Both
not
teams
lying.
are playing. Hey, listen, I'll say LAFC have played less like ass though.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you something about Katie. Talk about kids playing on, and her and her husband have her kids all playing in club ball. They're about to even go to Spain and play, like real deal. And they are dedicated 100% to making sure that their kids get to do that. And they put in so much work as parents to make sure that happens. And I've spoke with her about that. Like, man, that the dedication that it takes for her and her husband to make sure that her boys are getting the right training and stuff like that. I mean, they have a daggum Brazilian coach staying with them right now. That's at their house staying to help coach the kids before they go to Spain. Like, that's the type of dedication that it takes. But it's not easy, bro. It's not easy here as opposed to in Italy or in Brazil and stuff. In Spain, it's just not as easy, bro. And that's the dedication that you got to have. So
100%. Let's
yeah,
see.
4 of them. She has 4 of them.
Coffee says maybe some of non-CONCACAF teams should be invited to the Gold Cup. You have other than Canada and Mexico as a good opponent for you. Yeah, I mean they invited Saudi Arabia this year, and I think that was for financial reasons, right? Because I think Saudi gave the Gold Cup a certain amount of money for promotion and stuff. You see a bunch of Saudi promos everywhere at the games, but that's not really the kind of opponent you want. You want someone a little better than that in the tournament, just to test you out and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, we're down bad right now. We can't lie about it. We're definitely down bad as far as the USMNT. And our players don't want to play for our team. Some of the guys, not an ideal situation, but we'll see what they can do with the current team and see how far that they can go in the Gold Cup. Nick, we're almost into the first half, man. No
Good.
goals for either team. If they
Two,
don't have
2 or drawback.
Barry, a member of the channel, says, "What's up? Went to the game yesterday. Big crowd." I'm assuming you're talking about the Atletico versus Seattle game. You have to clarify and let me know. I know you're a Sounders fan, Barry, but I think you're talking about the Atletico. It looked like a crazy game, crazy atmosphere, right? Honestly, Seattle didn't do as bad as I thought they would do. They actually looked okay with everything considering, everything, especially since Atletico needed to win that game in order to advance out of their group. Q Kenny says, "Is it me or is soccer becoming more of a rich thing?"
It is.
Feels
It
like
is
it. I
here in
mean,
the
the state of play
States.
is crazy.
It is here in the States, and that's what I was referring to a minute ago, Kenny. Like, when you go to, and I keep making this reference because it's all I really have to reference, but you go to Italy, you go to Spain. It's not. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's more of, not for the rich, right? It's more of what the street kids do and in the everyday person does. They
Blue
go out,
collar sport.
the blue collar sport. You come over here to the States, and to your point, it is feeling like it's more of a rich person thing because of the price of money that it takes for you to travel and do all that. Like it just feels unfair, and I think that would be something that we need to fix if we're wanting to have our academies be better, and if we're wanting, even for the U.S. men's national teams, if you want these talents to stay here and not go over the season and try to get these trainings. I mean, as I said, my friend Katie on here, she's literally sending her boys to Spain to go, because that's where they're going to get that good training that isn't going to break their bank, as opposed to have a Brazilian coach come here and stay with. You see what I'm saying? Like that's bull. You should be able to get that type of quality training here, and without it breaking your bank.
No, I agree with that.
It should be for everybody, 100%. Kenny, look at us. We're agreeing.
I gotta read this super chat. Barry, a loyal member of the channel, $20 says, indeed, enjoyed the game yesterday. Atletico Madrid versus Seattle. It was a good showing. We'll see. You have to let me know. You'll have to let me know, Barry, if you're going to go to the PSG match. That'll be an interesting match. I would definitely go, even though Seattle's technically, I think they're eliminated. I would still want to see them go play PSG and see what happens. Skyline says, poor families can't afford to play. Look at Ronaldo. He grew up poor, and look how that turned out. Yeah, I mean, that's a...
Right.
Oh,
right.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Right there. God.
I think Giroud might be hurt.
Man.
No, I think that they definitely should spend more money investing, especially they should set aside money just for everybody to play. And, that's how you're going to have a bigger talent pool too. Let's see. Lucas says LAFC should be winning. Yeah, it's just they're not finding the back of the net. Barry says Lumen Field felt rocking like 2013 to 2019. Lots of buzz and electricity. I'm dreading Monday. I mean, I wouldn't dread Monday. I mean, you got nothing to lose. It could be crazy. It could be a fun environment. That Seattle is getting murdered on Monday. I mean, they could. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't want to play PSG after they lost to Botafogo. We'll see what happens. You never know. Mister, he's from the UK. He says, it's like my nephew. He was just playing for his youth club in a tournament. Just so happened a scout from the championship club was there and signed him to their academy. That's cool as hell. That's cool.
How cool is that, dude? Mister is the man. I'm telling you what, bro.
That's cool, man. Honestly, that's
cool.
Actually pretty cool.
Like think about that though, right? You're out there playing, you're showing good. They come over and say, "Hey, now you're gonna come play for us." You're like, this is, and so I'm sure now his boots and stuff are taken care of. They help him out to do this and that. It ain't like the parents are breaking the bank for him to get good club ball training, bro. Like that's incredible. Thanks for sharing that, Mister. Not the first half of one, it will.
First half is over. LAFC 0-0 against Tunis. Not an ideal start. They're going to have to ramp it up in the second half. And the sad thing is that, Giroud, I don't know if he can make it a whole second half, but I don't think they have another option except maybe putting Bouanga up top. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do in the second half, what kind of adjustments. But look, they're going to have to start scoring some goals or it's over. They're not going to advance. It's just not going to happen. They have to turn this thing up. And to be honest with you, Nick, if they can't score against Tunis, they don't deserve to make it out of the group stage. That's just being honest.
No, but it's disappointing. 2 goals get called back. I know they showed us for the Martinez ones. I'm still not convinced. I would have liked for him to went there and checked it out. But nonetheless, two bring it back. It sort of hurts the confidence a little bit, right? You have 2 go in the back of the net, boom. Now they're called back. Those 2 would have been very crucial, though. 2 crucial. They made him buy the series for the first day there. Oh, no. I thought they would have gave it to him, man. Okay, well, he bought those.
Well, hey, I want to ask the chat this real quick, though. I want to ask the chat. Chat, that was not an ideal first half from LAFC. No. It wasn't. They got to score goals if they want to make it out of the group stage. 1 through 10, how confident are you that they're going to make a comeback in the second half and get the goals they need to get? 2 or 3 goals. They need 2, a minimum of 2, but they really need 3. How confident are you that LAFC are going to win this game 2 or 3-0? 1, not confident at all. It's over. hit the red button, pull the fire alarm, it's over. Or 10, they're going to do it. No piece of cake. All the confidence in the world, 1 through 10. How confident are you that LAFC are going to be able to get the 2 or 3 goals they need in this match? Nick, I'll start with you. How confident are you after the first half performance?
You're gonna come to me first, huh? 7. I think that's a fair assessment. 7. Well, it's not a comeback, right? Because they're not down. So, but I like what I've seen. Giroud walking off with a knock. There might be a chance that he doesn't come back out. Things could change there. So that's obviously going to knock me down a point or so. I don't think the confidence isn't high, but seeing 2 goals get called back makes you, as a team, feel like, you're a little bit in quicksand, and you have to work a little extra, a little bit harder. So that is going to knock me back a point. So there I'm at 8. And then just, now you're in the second half. So I think a 7 is a fair assessment.
I'm going to go 4.
4.
4. Yeah, I'm going to go 4.
Jesus.
But before I tell you why, Ashkin says 7. David A says, where is Vela? Mr. says 7. Timothy Park says 3. Michael Pelly says, this feels like a typical slow midseason summer MLS game. It does, honestly, a little bit.
It does.
It does.
It does.
I'm at a 4 because they had their A team in the first half. That was the team that was supposed to get these goals early on and then just kind of coast by for the rest of the game.
That's right.
They tried. They had opportunities. They weren't able to score. So I don't see it getting any better in the second half. Now, if this was a Giroud super sub game where you bring him in the 65th minute, 70th minute like they did last game, they did look a little better. Maybe it's the 80th minute for him, but they always look better when he comes on in the second half. That would be a different story. But what's one thing that these 2 games have told me, Nick, about LAFC? Defense is not their problem. Their attack is their problem. They just don't have the guys who can score goals. And guess what? That's been a problem since last year. That's been a problem since last season with this team. When Giroud was trying to start, they couldn't score goals, and that's when they kind of flamed out a little bit towards the end of the season. They desperately need to get some attacking help. And I think that, what would be bad? We haven't even talked about this. I'm not trying to hit the red button or the panic button. But what happens if LAFC go this entire group stage and they don't score a single goal?
Well, that's not good. And I hate to keep knocking it back because I see that she said the same thing, and I agree. The offside goals, I mean, there are 2 goals, and the offsides are literally by just a little bit, right? So they are 2 goals, so they are getting in the back. It's just a little off. So you got to be a little bit more aware of the situation. And as I'm watching these clips back, I mean, a lot of chances, Will, a lot of chances. So, I get that it's not going. I'm sounding like a homer right now, and I get that, but I'm just being honest with you. I just feel like, at the end of the day, LFC can't get it done. I do. I feel like if we can just put it together and watch our lines, because that Martinez, he really could have took that little step back, I
just think that they're missing something, man. They're just missing, they miss that dynamic attacker on the right side, and they really haven't been able to find it since Vela left. Now, Kike obviously was a breath of fresh air for a little bit, but it felt like he came and went real quick, right? His time here was a blink of an eye. Kike Oliveira. And Barry says LAFC now needs Albert Rusnak. Yeah, hey, they're trying to score goals here, Barry. They're not trying to, score less goals than they already are.
David Day says Thornton out.
I mean, listen, here's the thing. I told you this on the phone the other day. I think JT is a little, what's he really done? He's good at, he built a roster that could win an MLS Cup in 2022. But man, he's had a lot of misses in the last couple of years. and he hasn't really been urgent on signing guys. They had 10 days to sign guys.
We are the only one that did sign somebody. So why
And you're
would
not
we
even
be on the hot seat and not other teams?
well.
We
The
are the
reason
only
why
team that signed, and he put a lot of stock into the Griezmann, and that might have been a problem, because we know that it wasn't him. He had the deal done. It was the owners. So I say this until I'm blue in the face, but it's true, man. It's like you can't do nothing when the owners don't want to come out of their pocket, and they screwed him up by not coming out of the pocket, and that put everything the steamrolling going down the hill. You know what I mean? Like it really messed things up.
well, and I'll say this: they were the only team that made a signing, but that guy hasn't even played yet, which I don't understand why. Why wouldn't you play him? Why not give him a chance? See what happens. I think he needs to come on in the second half. But Inter Miami didn't make a signing, but they may, they're a little bit different. They haven't. I mean, they have struggled to score goals. I think they should have made a signing, but they scored. They've done what they've had to do in this tournament, and you can see that they played well enough, right? LAFC really didn't make the signings they needed to make, and Seattle definitely didn't make any signings. But Seattle doesn't ever make any signings. They're very, very cheap and very conservative when it comes to roster movement these days. LAFC aren't supposed to be like other teams. They're supposed to be the standards. They're supposed to set standards, not follow everybody else, follow the leader. They should have went out, got a striker, because here's the thing. I'm going to be pissed off if they end up going and getting a striker this summer, because I'm thinking, what if they had done that before this tournament had started? What would the results have been if they had done that before this tournament started? Could that have been a difference maker? They just, when they were playing Chelsea and Abobase was starting up top, they just couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything. And Giroud obviously struggles because it's not the right system, but we've had that argument for a long time. Eventually, they're going to just have to make changes and just, move off of him because he doesn't fit the system. But it's just, if they don't score a goal, that is not good. Because even Seattle scored a goal against Atletico Madrid, and they have nobody compared to LAFC. Like talent-wise, nobody. They scored a goal against Botafogo, scored a goal against Atletico Madrid. So there's no excuse for LAFC to not score a goal.
No, there isn't. There's no excuse, and I apologize. They're blowing the leaves, so I'll keep muting myself. But there is no excuse, and they have to score. I think, again, as I said, that's why it's so hard that those 2 goals got called back, because you're talking about momentum there. You got to think it would have been the first, 15 minutes ago, last 20 minutes ago. Now you're up 2, but now they're both back. And so you've got to your point, you got to see it in the back of the net, bro. I agree with you 100%.
I mean, we'll see what happens. There's a full half, but they're going to have to, guns blazing, they're going to have to play with some urgency. But if they don't, I'm going to tell you right now, Nick, if they don't win this game by 2-0 at least, I'm going to have some very choice words in our post-game recap. I'm not sugarcoating it. They should beat this team. This team is worth $20 million. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. And you know what? LAFC are having to play in Nashville, but these dudes are from Africa. They're having to play in a whole other continent. So like they're not playing in their backyard. They're playing thousands of miles away. So I don't really feel bad for LAFC in this game. They've got to step it up, man. They got to score some goals. Need to see a little bit more urgency. Denny Bouanga's got to do something, dude. I'm tired of him not showing up in big games.
Yeah, I talk about this all the time, and it's the same thing that we had with Vela. We put so much pressure on a player, but at some point, you have to succumb to that pressure and say, you know what, I'm putting you on my back. Here we go. We haven't seen it, and we need to.
No, I agree. Guys, before the second half starts, I'm going to do a 30-second bathroom break, maybe even 60 seconds. Got to drain the liquids, long stream, a lot of water to drink. We're going to do a 60-second bathroom break. We'll be back to watch the second half. Hopefully, LAFC can get it together and score some goals, but we'll be right back. All right, we are back. Quick bathroom break. We're good for the rest of the stream. Let's read some comments here. Michael Pelly says Seattle should have had more goals actually if they had a striker. I agree. Striker is a huge need for Seattle, and I was hoping that they would sign somebody so that they could maybe have a chance. I mean, they need a striker in MLS as well. They need a striker desperately in Major League Soccer. So I don't understand why they didn't try to make any moves. They're just, complacent with their team, which is really sad. Lucas says he showed up against Chelsea but missed so many chances. It's disgracefully if LAFC does not win, we need to win, boys, vamos. I mean, they have to win this game. They have to. John Smith says Flamengo beating Chelsea was the worst thing that could have happened to LAFC. 100%. Kathy says, honestly, those South American teams are monsters. It's a real shock for me. I'm telling you guys, we're going to make a video tonight. Europe's on fraud watch. They are. It's going to be a very fun video to make. Barry says they need to hypnotize Bouanga during halftime and program to think he's playing Seattle. Maybe we could see Tunis switch kits at the halftime, right? He always does good against Seattle. David Day says LAFC scored 2 goals in the first official Club World Cup game. Well, I mean, if you want to call the Club America game that, but I mean, in the tournament itself, they haven't scored any goals.
I see where David's going with that.
Looks like there's no changes either at the half. No changes at the half. Maybe there is a change. Is that someone coming in? Was that Eddie Segura drinking the water on the sideline?
No, is that not the new kid?
Is it him? I couldn't. I don't know what he looks like. He didn't look familiar. I was like, that don't look like Eddie Segura. Yep, that's a new guy. He's coming in. He's coming in for David Martinez.
Wow, for Martinez. Martinez might have took a little knock when he went into that the side pole.
So his name's Dillerson. Is that how you say his name?
Wow.
We'll see what happens. I don't think David Martinez was the issue in the first half. I don't think he was the issue in the first. I thought he was fine in the first half. Personally, David Martinez. I don't think he was that bad. I actually would have made.
That's an interesting sub, bro.
You know who I think has been very ineffective in the first half, and maybe I'm crazy. Have you really noticed Marky Delgado in the first half? I noticed Tillman and Igor Jesus. I haven't noticed Marky Delgado in the first half.
A lot of people are complaining about Martinez. Martinez is not ready for the big show. Martinez got to come out.
Yeah, he played at Club America. I didn't know his name. I don't know what he looks like. I knew that they made that signing. God, dude, this stadium is so empty. If I am a soccer fan, obviously, right? If I lived right outside or close to the stadium, I would have 100% went to this game. Even though I'm not a fan of either of these teams and just living in Nashville, I would go. I mean, it's a Club World Cup game. This is a crazy game. I don't think they did a good enough job promoting this. And someone had brought up that it was supposed to be Club Leon, so like they probably would have done better if they were playing in this tournament as far as attendance, because they have a lot of fans closer in this area than LAFC does. Diogo says at TL, I'll have to look at it. Thanks. I don't. Oh, okay. I got you. QK says South America is a whole other level of talent. I'm telling you guys, Brazil is different. Brazil is the real deal. People are going to look at South America in a whole different light after this tournament based on what they've done. And here's another thing. When Pele was playing back in the day, people today that don't know the game very well clown Pele because he never played for a European team. He only played for Santos and the New York Cosmos. They clown him. Oh, he was never challenged. He never did this. He never did that. First of all, the dude has like 3 or 4 World Cups. His team was the best team in the world internationally. And I think Brazil at the time was probably a top 2 league in the world. So we're just trying to put today's standards on him from the past. It's a different league than it was. It's not the same league now that it was back then. But hey, maybe it is actually. Maybe Brazil is still, Brazil, they're up. Brazil stock is way up.
Yeah, I used to love watching their games. You could watch it on Paramount Plus. We were able to, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, man. Like I said, I really started watching Flamengo a lot, and they got some guys on there that I like, and it was a fun league. They're pretty chippy. It reminds me a lot of Liga MX when I watch those games. And good quality soccer, dude, and passion for days in the stands. Just passion for days, bro, and you just can't beat it.
Denny. He's just firing too late, man. It just feels like he's a step on. I see what the new kid can do. Listen, I've never watched him play, but the talk is that he's a very pacey. I don't want to say I heard loose cannon. He's not quite Brian Rodriguez with the ball, where he's just fast and kind of like loses control as he's going with it, his pace. But I heard that he's, better than what they have right now on the right side.
But he was in a bit of a slump. He was in a bit of a slump for Club America. That's why he didn't come in until I think it was like the 70th minute when LAFC played them.
Yeah, I think that Club America is the best team in Liga MX, or they have been the last year. So not being able to break through on that team is not like, crazy, like an indictment of him being bad. It's just a really good team. Mr. says we saw it in 2000 in the Club World Cup. Vasco da Gama absolutely pants Manchester United. Edmundo destroyed Mikel Silvestre. Yeah, I mean, I just think that they... God. Was there a penalty? I got my volume down. I didn't even hear it.
That is a bullshit foul. That is so penalty. Soft. That is so soft, bro. Yeah,
that was a flop. I don't know about that. Was that on Denny? It was.
Yeah, it's on Denny. But that is a soft foul, bro. That is.
Oh yeah, that's a. They need to look at that. That was soft.
There's no way that is a card. I mean, a penalty. No way.
They gonna look at it?
Doesn't seem like he's going. This guy obviously is.
That was, listen, chat. That was a crazy dive. You gonna look at it? Okay, good.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he is. Yep.
Finally.
Dude, that was a crazy dive.
That should be a yellow for him diving like that, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't even let's watch this again. What is this? He tried to act like he tripped on his hand. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing there, dude. That's a flop. That is such a flop. No penalty, guys. No penalty. That's a flop. He, like Nick said, he should honestly get a card for that flop.
If they call from that side, he don't even touch him, bro. Look.
If he fell right there, okay, but he didn't fall. Yeah, that's a dive from hell, dude. That's a dive from hell.
If they call this,
here we go. Let's see what he says.
I think he said no.
Yellow card for the Tunis player.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, yellow card for that flop.
Had to. No choice. Yeah, bro. All right, dude. I mean, you didn't make up for not going to the VAR earlier, but whatever. Had to, Will. Had to. If you want this tournament to be taken serious, you cannot give penalties for that, and you've got to give the person a yellow when they do that. He's trying to say he was holding. He was not holding you, bro. It was clear and obvious. Keep talking, you get a rib.
Dude, that is a crazy dive when you think about it.
Bruh, did I just see what I thought I saw? Was he trying to grab his own kit and pull it down like it was Bawanga pulling his kit?
Yeah.
Is that what just happened?
Yep.
What the hell?
Blatant dive. Well done, ref. I can't believe, guys, I cannot believe Hockey says diving prick. Listen, I cannot believe that they're still yapping about that, bro.
Me either, bro. He was literally pulling his own jersey as if Bawanga was pulling it, and it's clearly his own hand. What are we doing here? He died too late. That's true. If he dies a little bit earlier, that call happens, though, right? Like if he dies a little bit earlier, that yellow stands.
Then he would have been screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he dived way too late, dude. When you see that on the replay, it looks so bad.
It does.
I mean, that's no joke. One of the worst dives I've seen in a while. That was diving board dives right there.
You know, I wanted to go back to something you said about Delgado. You know, I did a post on it on X, shameless plug, you know, on my X right there. But it talks about the midfield and about how Tillman and them have really been a solid unit. But to your point, Delgado has been missing on this game. Just not up for it, it feels like, huh?
No, I think that maybe that's why they're wanting to possibly get a midfielder this summer. Get a midfielder this summer to try to push some of these guys and, you know, not content with Delgado. I think Delgado's been okay, but I don't think he's really been the same since. Oof.
Oh, I want us to go after Pogba.
I mean, after this, you got to. He's going to want a DP deal. You got to get a striker, man. What we've seen today, you need a striker so bad. You know what, Nick? I think you guys are legitimately a striker away from being contenders.
Yeah,
and I'm talking about legit contenders. I'm not saying make the playoffs. I'm talking about being able to possibly win MLS Cup. If you get a striker, this whole thing's different.
Yep. Because we've seen, you know, look, LAFC didn't start strong this year. They were bad at the very beginning of the season. But Kenny.
Let's see. Mr. says Pogba looks like he's going to Monaco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked him to come over to LAFC though. I really would have.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would have liked to see that, but they just don't have the resource. He's not going to come. He's only 31 years old. He's not going to come on a team-friendly deal. And he's
but he's worth a DP deal.
He is, but they just have bigger issues, man. They got to get a striker. If they had 2 DPs, I'd do it.
Yeah, he's worth it. He's worth that DP deal, dude.
I think they need to consider selling Denny, man.
Hold on, we have a DP a spot open actually.
No, you do, but I would use it for a striker though. I think they should consider selling Denny, man. Honestly,
I think you buy Giroud down.
With what? You mean buy him out of his deal?
Well, no, buy it down.
He makes too much. He makes $6 million a year. He'd have to sign a new deal and take a pay cut in order to buy him down.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No, they could buy him out though. They could go ahead and pay the rest of his salary for the rest of this year and buy him out of his contract and then have a DP spot open then. But they're not going to do that. They're not going to pay him $3 million to not play on this team. It's funny, LAFC is not cheap, but in a sense they kind of are. They won't pay Griezmann's salary to bring him here. You want everybody else to pay his salary? That's crazy, dude. I mean, Miami they definitely did have some help with Messi's salary, but they're still paying like $20 million to him. They're paying all of Busquets' salary $10 million.
I'm telling you, it's the ownership. Like that Griezmann deal, God, dude. Look, I ain't gonna lie. I am a John fan. I like me some John Thornton, but it is very true. Like he had it already, and they just sort of really screwed him, and it's took him out of his game, and it's unfortunate, but like the owners should have paid that money. They should have paid it, and things would be different, but they didn't. And, that speaks about the owners, because us as fans were promised, we're going to be big spenders and this and that. Well, you had your chance to get a very talented person, but yet you wanted help because Miami got help. Like, what? Who cares? You know
what sucks, Nick, is that if LAFC don't score a goal in this game, even score a goal, they just have to win, man. It doesn't even look like they're going to win at this point. They're just going to draw. If they don't at least even win, it's over.
Don't say that, Will.
It's over. It is. If they don't win, it's over.
Will, it's not over. Just
if they don't win, it's not over.
No, it is over if they don't win. We're in the middle of the second half. We're going to win. We got to.
Got to see some better play, man. Look at Giroud. He's looking sluggish.
It's the most minutes he's had.
I know, that's bad. That's what happens when you're on the bench.
That's a Dolo fault right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's a Dolo fault.
And I'll say this too. It's over if they don't win. Pumas fan, I didn't see you in the chat, my friend. He says Inter Miami is the only good MLS team in this tournament.
Oh, stop. Not true.
Barry says over. Did someone say it's over? Was it over when the Germans bombed for Harper? Hell no.
I'm in hole.
Animal House reference. Love it. Michael Pelly says it feels like Griezmann may regret staying in Europe longer. He might not get many minutes, or he could have a drop off, and he could have got a huge payday to come here, which, it's not really his fault. It was more of LAFC just saying, yeah, we'll sign you if the league pays for it.
Yep. And you that ain't how you can run the team, bro. You've got to be willing to put that money out. As you said, Miami paying $10 million, paying half of that $20 million. Like, bro, that's real money. Why can't LAFC do it? They got them deep pockets. We got enough damn owners.
Pumas fan asked me who I want to win if an MLS team doesn't win. Anybody who's not a European team, I don't care who it is, or what a pass to Bouanga. Oh, come on, Denny, you got to finish this. Denny, he's terrible. He's terrible, bro. Bro. You got to finish that.
They called that offside?
Bro.
What is happening? What the fuck is happening?
He was onside. He looked like onside to me.
What is happening?
Maybe a little bit offside. Maybe a little bit. How's he not finishing that? Ah, man. Not good. This guy is just never comes through in the big games. Anyway, I was going to say too that I think LAFC might also, Nick, they might not be making big time commitments because they're about to have a new manager and they don't want to be signed a bunch of dudes who maybe don't fit their new manager's system.
Well, they need to know who that damn new manager is and start asking questions because this is ridiculous, bro. Like that, what a buttery pass from Giroud to absolutely end up in dog shit. Seriously, bro. What was that? Like, what are we doing, bro?
I want Monterrey or Pachuca to win since I'm Mexican, but if not them, I want Palmeiras, Botafogo, Fluminense, or Flamengo to win. So basically, Brazilian teams are my backup plan. Hey, listen, if it's not MLS, just anybody but a European team. Not because I have anything against the European teams. I mean, Barcelona is my favorite team. They're not playing the tournament, obviously. If they were in here, it'd be a different story. But I want to make things interesting. I mean, how cool would that be if in the first Club World Cup, a non-European team won it? That'd be incredible. Q Kenny says, I hope Real Madrid don't win the final. Yeah, we all do. We all are probably Madrid haters. Barry says, what's going on? Granted, I'm a Sounder-centric, but I've never seen Bouanga like this. When he plays in big games, he comes up small. That's his deal. He always underperforms in big games.
Played well in the America game, and that was a big game. But
yeah, but he
has not shown up in these. He didn't show up in. I can think of a final that he didn't show up in. I mean, look, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's a hit or miss, and this is a miss today. That was a bad that you can't have that such a beautiful pass from and screw it up like that. You just can't. You can't. I don't think David Day likes it, but you can't. Cannot.
LA is the biggest Mexican team in this Club World Cup. You're gonna start a war with Pumas over here. Pumas fan. Pumas fan says Botafogo beating PSG has given me hope that I will one day see Pumas lift a Club World Cup. Hey, listen though, I made a thread about this today. I think that UEFA is wounded right now. I believe if we took the Liga MX teams, the MLS teams, and we formed a new Champions League with Brazil and Argentina, as those being the four pillar leagues,
that'd be so much fun, dude.
We would have, the money that would make could eventually rival the UEFA Champions League. I'm telling you, in the quality, it would help MLS, it would help Liga MX, it would help Brazil, it would help Argentina. Because MLS and Liga MX would automatically be the third and fourth best league in that tournament. So you just took the third and fourth league you currently have, you move them down to fifth and sixth, and now you have two better leagues participating in your tournament. It helps everyone out. It does not water the talent down at all. I hope that happens. It will be great for everybody. Get rid of the CONCACAF Champions Cup, get rid of it, and just form a Champions League with them. That would do so much, man, for every league involved. It would do so much for everybody.
Well, you would definitely, as an MLS league, you definitely have to raise your money. No doubts about it.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I mean, no doubts about it. But how fun would that be?
TL says the travel distances, though. But let me just make a point about
this. That's everybody's excuse, and I'm not saying that they're making it out. TL, I'm not coming out. That has been the excuse for people all the time. So what do? You take a little bit of a break, and then whichever place it is, if it's in Brazil, U.S. teams go there, and if it's in, or you know what I mean? Like I completely get what you're saying, but we already traveled for MLS far.
Well, I was going to say that Africa, the AFCON, North Africa to South Africa is 5,000 miles. 5,000 miles. If you take Miami to Rio de Janeiro, it's only 4,000 miles. They play a Champions League. What about Asia, China, Japan, all those nations, India? They all play a Champions League, and they have a huge distance too. It's doable, man. It's 100% doable. You just have to have the right scheduling, and they would have to. They can't have Copa Libertadores and CONCACAF Champions Cup. It's just too much. They're going to have to form a new Champions League and do it. And look, I'm cool with just participating in Copa Libertadores. I'm cool with that. I'll ditch CONCACAF for that. There's more money, higher stakes, better quality, and it will make Major League Soccer way better. He says only 4,000 miles. Yeah, but listen, Africa is traveling 5,000 miles. South African teams to Egypt is 5,000 miles. Michael Pelly says that's why UEFA and its fans hate this, because they want to keep all the control of the world's game. Lucas says, bro, Toronto FC to Boca, that's like 10-hour flight, even more. It is, but it's a 7-hour flight from Miami to Seattle.
Yep.
So we're already traveling far. It's already a far distance in some of the places.
Yeah, from Hawaii to Tennessee, 9 hours or something like that.
Yeah. And look, I'm not saying if that was having to be played every single week, I understand how that's tough, but man, we can do it. These are professionals. And honestly, that's an extreme. I mean, Toronto FC, Montreal, Vancouver, one of them are going to make it to the Champions League, whatever it is, because the Canadian automatic qualifier, but maybe they won't actually. Maybe they don't maybe it's just MLS's 4 best teams. No Canadian team qualifies unless they're one of the 4 best teams in MLS, which I think would be better because we're just getting the 4 best teams every single year. And Toronto should be up there, by the way. Toronto FC, they should be better than what they are. But I think that would be better for the league long term. How many likes do we have? I think we're at 38 last I checked. 43 guys. We're 7 away from 50. I don't think we're going to hit our 100 like goal, but we got to at least hit 50. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. We got to get 50 likes at least.
False narratives always be pushed on these YouTube channels. I'm not sure what false narrative we're sharing there, Daniel.
Who said this?
Daniel. False narrative.
Daniel.
I'm not really sure.
I don't see that comment.
Or David. I'm sorry, David. I said Daniel.
David. Oh, David Daves. False narratives always be pushed. What are you talking about? He said Leagues Cup 2027, MLS, Liga MX, Brazilian League, Argentinian League. I've been saying, yeah, but that's still not enough. I don't want to just have 1 month of a tournament. I want to have a year. I want them to play these teams all season long. And keep in mind, guys, I don't know if you remember this, just a couple days ago, Jorge Mas, owner of Inter Miami, came out and said that they will be changing to the European calendar. It's not a matter of if, but when.
Who is?
Going to happen. And when that does happen, it's going to make it a lot more doable to play in the Copa Libertadores. The owner of Inter Miami. He said that they're going to be changing to the European schedule. He said it's not a matter of if, but when.
That's going to be good. Oh, handball. Come on. I mean, sloppy. What a disappointment. For the first half to this half, you're really seeing some sloppiness. Come on. You are really seeing some sloppiness from LAFC.
They just look like they've given up.
They don't look like they're giving up. Okay. Maybe a little bit.
And that's over. It's over. Wow. Guys, I think our good friend Nick is not going to be happy with my post-game recap. He's not going to be happy with some of my takes, but this is embarrassing.
Listen, you know how we do it at the VOBG, man. You speak facts. This was not good enough. Not good enough. Unbelievable.
You want to know something funny? LAFC, I said, had the best chance of any MLS team getting out of their group stage. Today, they've had the worst performance of any of MLS teams in this tournament today. This is the worst performance by any MLS team today. Seattle gets a pass because they lost to Botafogo. They at least scored a goal. They lost to Atletico Madrid, third best team in La Liga. Lost 3-1. Miami had a draw against Al Ahly, who is a better team than Tunis. Had a draw against them, and then they beat Porto. LAFC, worst performance of any Major League Soccer team in the Club World Cup. It's not even close.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable. You had every chance to run away with this game. Every chance. Segura just no good this game. Delgado, no good this game. Bawanga, no good this game. This is a joke.
Worst
Tell you what,
performance.
the LAFC chat is going off, bro. They are.
This has been a Dolo special. See, here's the thing. This is what I want to say too. Even that performance against Chelsea don't look as good now because Flamengo whooped their ass. So even that game against the Premier League giant where you lost 2-0 looks worse now because Flamengo beat them 3-1. And you know what, Nick? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. After this game, LAFC are gonna get smoked by Flamengo. They are. I'm sorry. They're just gonna get smoked. They can't score goals. They got a huge goal issue right now. The most important thing in soccer is to score goals. That's why they demand and command the biggest transfer fees attackers do. LAFC can't score goals. Can't score goals. Soccer Daddy FC says, LAFC, I have no words. Cringe. Wow, this is wild. I can't believe LAFC is down right now. And they're playing the worst team probably in any MLS group. They're playing the worst team. Lucas says, Bwanga, learn Arabic, buddy. Naren says, Sounders played so much better than LAFC.
That's actually funny. Sorry, that was actually
It is.
good.
AB says they probably going to go into tie Flamengo. Rich, the last game you mentioned that LAFC is better than the Whitecaps. Not sure with this display. They are better for tournaments than the Whitecaps. The Whitecaps didn't even get a shot off against Cruz Azul. LAFC would have at least had a shot attempt against Cruz Azul. They didn't have a shot attempt and lost 5-0.
God, Denny. What are you doing, bro? You are just flopping to flop at this point. Stay on your fucking feet. Come on. Sorry. But
Timothy Park says
ridiculous.
They scored against Club America. Yeah, but that was at home. We're learning that LAFC are not a good road team. They scored at home in their own backyard, but they're not good at tournaments like this. Tobar says lights to bright. Soccer Day says 99B has been a ghost was a ghost versus Chelsea too, saying Bwanga was a ghost against Chelsea.
Well, a lot of people are blaming the squad. You got Segura not showing up. You have Belonga not showing up. You have Delgado not showing up. But I don't think the tactics have been there. I don't think Dolo's done anything. I mean, like, you see these people are struggling. Pull them out, bro. 75th minute, do something. Like, let me see some type of change. You know what I mean? Everything that Soccer Daddy FC is saying, 100% facts. 99 has been a ghost for Chelsea. Also, 100% truth, man. True. You can't just play against America and think, oh, now I'm whatever. And then you come to these games that matter and don't show up. Facts. Look, man, I am a hardcore LAFC fan, but one thing we do is we speak freaking truth. The coach is not good enough. The team is not playing good enough. Will has said everything that's nothing but truth. The attack is horrible. Look, man, yes, the team needs to be better, but why are we bad? Because we don't attack usually. We sit back because that's how Dolo plays. That's how his system is we want to defense. Great. Our defense was good against Chelsea. Okay, cool. Where's the defense now? We're shit. With no run-up play. You're not pushing them out of their comfort zone. You're waiting for them to, we're playing back to the days of the very front of this season when we started, when LAFC didn't want to touch the ball, Will. You remember when I would tell you, LAFC don't want the ball. They don't want it. They don't know what to do when they get it. They literally try to do the counter play and, we'll score real quick and then go back to defense because we don't want to control the ball. It's not the Bob Bradley days where LAFC only wanted to control the ball.
I got to read a couple members' comments. Just down bad here. They need a proper number 9 and a Bouanga replacement. Mister, you're on the money. They have to. They got to get a.
Mister's always on the money.
Bouanga is good when it really doesn't even matter. He's not good when it matters, and that's the most important thing of a DP. You got to show up in the big games. Rando, a new member of the channel, says Muller rumors too. By the way, for LAFC, not sure if they're still around. They are. That's actually intensified. I think now that they're the favorites to sign him. All right, Denny, let's see what you can do. That's why get this man off the team. We'll see what happens. Cincinnati is rumored to be in the mix for him. We'll see who ends up winning his signature. But if I was LAFC, I don't want to go anywhere near him. He's too old. Look at Dolo looking lost. Dude doesn't know anything. Barry Sartoro says, I sports hate LAFC, but I have a lot of empathy for you guys. This is nuts. Barry, think about this. You guys scored more goals against Atletico in one game than LAFC have scored in their first 2 matches. Uh-oh.
He's a Sounders fan, right?
Yeah, he is. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is like when y'all whooped our asses 5-0, bro. Goal. Well, ain't it? It's going to be a goal.
Oh! So Igor Jesus with the clearance? Or was it off the crossbar?
Igor is a beast.
Was it Igor? I couldn't tell if that was Igor. Okay, yeah, Igor. Yeah, Igor cleared it.
He's a beast.
I just think about how many trophies LAFC could have had if they had a good coach.
Oh man.
You guys could have had maybe 2 or 3 cups in the cabinet if you guys had a good coach. Just wasteful opportunities.
So much fun. So much fun. Love when your team just gives you a goose egg.
I'm telling you right now, this post game, this post game's gonna be fire.
No heart. No heart, bro. No passion. No passion for the badge. No passion for the colors.
You know what's funny? Cringe even says this. This is true. Tunis isn't even good. They're not even good. They're incompetent. When the final third, they can't finish their opportunities. Any decent team would have finished that chance they just had right there, wide open. It was 2-on-1. They should have finished that. LAFC are struggling to beat a team that's playing like that quality. They're getting Marlon in like it matters at this point. Who else is coming in?
At the 80th minute, bro.
Yaboa's coming in. Yeah.
At the 80th minute, dude. What are we doing? Like this is Dolo Ball 101. Everybody wants to talk about how well he had the team playing, and I was one of them because I had been hard on Dolo. But this is Dolo Ball 101. How many opportunities wasted by you? It's true, bro. It's just...
Shards 47 says we need Big Ainge at LAFC. You know who they really miss right now? I don't know if is he meaning Chicho? Do you know who he's talking about? Big Ainge?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Can you clarify on that, Shard? Are you talking about Arango? Is that who you mean?
Arango would have been great.
Against the Tunisia League. Dude, Nick, I'm telling you, I will say this, okay? We're going to break this down in our post-game recap. Guys, this is going to be out shortly after this game, so make sure you check it out.
We're going to kill it.
But here's the thing, man. Hey, listen, we got to calm down. We got to break it down. We just got to lay out the case of why this is so bad. But all the good that Inter Miami and Seattle, you could say, have done for this league in this tournament has been wiped out by a performance like this. When you're losing to a Tunisian team, man, most people can't point this country out on a map. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who knows who their highest paid player is, but I would assume that LAFC have probably most of their starting 11 is probably paid more than the Tunisian team's highest paid player. I mean, their team's only worth $20 million. And they're getting outclassed, and they don't even look that good. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If Flamengo plays like they did today against this LAFC team, they're losing 5 or 6-0.
Facts. And that's
Flamengo,
what we said at the beginning. We can't let that happen. No MLS team has done that. You can't be the one to get smacked 5-6-0. You cannot. Look at him. Orange card. Like, show some passion, bro.
I mean, look, some might say it's a little extreme, but seriously, we're losing to a team that's not even that good. Their national team, someone's pointed out, isn't good. And LAFC can't score against them. This might be the second worst team in the whole tournament. And LAFC can't score. I mean, Seattle literally...
the Tottenham manager.
Oh, okay. So I got you. Okay, so the guy they just let go, that he's saying that they should bring him in.
Yeah. Okay,
manager.
now I understand.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was lost for a second.
Got you. I mean, yeah, they need to definitely hire someone out. They don't need to hire Mark Dos Santos. They don't need to hire Razov. Here's the thing, Nick. They hire one of those guys, you're taking a chance of getting more of this. You don't need any of this again. You need to go outside and change things up. You need to shake up. You don't need to hire a Bob Bradley guy. You don't need to hire a Steve Cherundolo guy. You need to go in. You need to make a fresh hire that changes everything. Yeah. But here's the sad thing. Even if LAFC get a goal here, it's over, guys. It's over. They needed 3 goals today. They needed to win 3-0, 2-0. They're going to lose 1-0. Hell, they might lose 2-0.
Embarrassing, bro.
Yep. Oh my God, you see that type of finishing? They're losing to a team that finishes like that. That was a Jeremy Ebobisse special right there. That guy, that shot you just saw right there was a Jeremy Ebobisse special signature move. Losing to a team like that. Cringe says, look at the terrible shot.
How much is their team worth? 20 million?
20 million. 20 million. I think outside of Auckland is the cheapest team in the tournament. They're the second cheapest team in the entire tournament. Jeremy Ebobisse special. Signature move over the crossbar. Rando says, good Lord, how are LAFC losing to this team? They barely can put in shots. That's how bad they are. So embarrassing. So embarrassing. Lucas says LAFC can't even get a shot, I think is what you meant. Yeah, field goal. Michael Pelly, he was good from 50. Good from 50, right down the middle. Jellyfish says LAFC have failed to register a shot on target. Have they, though? I thought they've had a couple. Let me look that up real quick. Let's see. I think they at least had a shot on target, right?
Who?
LAFC.
Yeah, they've put a shot on target. So that's going to be right now. We're sitting at.
Actually, they don't. On FOTMob, they don't have a single shot on target. 5 shots, 0 on target.
5 shot, yeah. Wow, bro.
60 dominated possession, 60%. And
2
here's the
shots
crazy
off
part.
target, but not one on.
Tunis has 10 shots, 5 on target. You'd think they're playing Arsenal or something. They're playing Tunis. They're playing Tunis, and they can't register a single shot on target. Do you see now why you don't need Paul Pogba? You don't need any midfielder. You have got to go out and sign a striker. You have got to sign a striker. This summer, you have to. You have to. Giroud is finished. He didn't do shit this game. He looked good for 20 minutes, and then he was done.
I disagree. He
was
one of the better parts of it, bro. I got to disagree with you on that.
Nick, listen to me. 0 shots on target.
Yeah, I understand. He didn't get not one quality pass to him. I'm going to fight this fight with you. I'll go on that battle. If anyone's to blame, it's the Denis Bouangas. It's the Delgados and stuff. It's not a Giroud. Giroud is out there working, bro. Great hold-up plays, literally trying to make stuff happen. Gave 3 buttery passes that could have been at least shots on goal. Nothing came out of it. You got an offside. You got a freaking wobbly foot that literally Bouanga just falls down after a mid pass from that guy, and then Martinez offsides. Like, dude, that can't be his fault. Like, you got to look at the other players, bro. Like come on, man. But Bouanga is on notice, and I have been a Bouanga fan, dog. Bouanga fan, but he's on notice. You might as well just go on and let Dolo go. Like, why keep him, bro? I don't get it. I just don't. I really don't understand. Why are we keeping him? You're going to have a guy say at the beginning of the season, I'm out. Well, then go.
Hey, listen, to be fair, I've talked bad about Ebobisse because he's bad, by the way. I just said that they need a striker. I even said that last game. They need a striker. Yeah. They need a young guy who's 24 to 27 years old who can play 90 minutes and actually score a goal every other game. They've got the money to spend it. They've got the DP spot to do it. It needs to happen. They don't score goals, they're not winning games. Denis Bouanga, MIA, put his face on a missing poster, put him on a milk carton. Denis Bouanga, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. DPs are supposed to be difference makers. He didn't do anything. Nothing for this team. Ineffective. Detrimental to this team. This is embarrassing. Worst performance by an MLS team. And I mean, it's over. LAFC, essentially are eliminated after this game. They're eliminated after this game. Liam K says, why hasn't the new player from America played yet? He is. He's in the game right now. He's in the game right now. Number 26.
And nothing.
He's done nothing.
Done
he sucks.
nothing.
Well, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't suck, but he sucked in this game. He's not.
I haven't seen not one quality from him.
D Life says Wong on fraud watch. Dolo out as soon as he touches down in LA. I'm gonna be honest with you, Nick. We talked about that. Announcing you're gonna leave at the beginning of the season is a soft ass move. And honestly, you should, if you know you're out, you need to be out. You need to be out as soon as you announce that. But as bad as he's played this year, this has been the worst season, I think, in Dolo's career as an LAFC manager. I think it has been. If they don't score a single goal in this tournament, dude, you got to cut ties with them. You're going to have your tail tucked between your leg back in LA with the worst performance of any MLS team. And by the way, let's keep this in perspective. Seattle had a group of Botafogo, who won the Copa Libertadores in 2024, PSG, Atletico Madrid. They scored more goals than LAFC did in a way more favorable group. Inexcusable. Has to be held accountable. I want Dolo out. I've been Dolo out for like 2 years now. I think they got to move off of him. He's not it. He's not the guy.
Nope.
And you know what? If John's willing to die on the hill for him and keep him for the rest of the year, maybe he's not the guy.
And look, that is fact. That's why when people say that Thornton, like David and stuff, and I understand where they're coming from, bro. Like I'm a Thornton fan. I really like the guy. I think the right move would have been for him to let Dolo go at the beginning of the year. I really do. When they were in that little bit of slump. And then now went into a 9-game winning whatever, or not losing, I should say, because they're freaking draws and whatever. But at the end of the day, you have to make that call. And if you can get beat by this team and not just say, hey, look, man, this ain't working, we got to do something. Maybe it's time for you to.
And that's why I'm saying, like,
it's a joke.
You know, we got to blame. I think Dolo's a lot to blame for this team. I don't want to spoil everything, because I think me and you see that's okay. Michael Park, you see that right there, that kick that Obobase had, that's right there. Terrible. I think that at a certain point, you know, Dolo obviously has a lot to blame for this team's shortcomings. 8 minutes of added time, by the way. But John Thornton is not squeaky clean either. He's not squeaky clean either. And honestly, if he's not willing, you know, you would think that JT would be wanting to move off of Dolo, Nick, so that way he could prove like, hey, it wasn't me. It wasn't me the reason we were losing or underperforming. It was Dolo. It wasn't me. Bring a new coach in here and perform. Then you could save his own ass. But he's sinking with the ship with Dolo. He's sinking with the ship.
He's worried about that friendship.
And that's why you don't hire your friends.
That's why you don't hire them.
That's exactly why you don't hire your friends. And if we're being honest with each other, Dolo was never the most qualified for that job in the first place. His record at Las Vegas was terrible.
Oh, horrible. What? Why would y'all let him take it? He is. Dude.
Mr. says, go for Ainge. You'll be playing attractive football, if nothing else.
Good. That's what we need.
That's all Nick's wanted.
Actually, what we need.
Nick
I love
I was going to say this real quick. You've always said that if you're not going to win all the games, you want to at least be fun to watch.
Don't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you want to see your team given every 110%, 90 plus minutes at quality, good football? And if you lose, well, you gave it your all, because you're not going to win them all. But if you play shit like this, if you lay goose egg after goose egg after goose egg, and it's excuses, but you got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, keeping it real. We have a coach that says it's not all about winning. Don't get it twisted. That came out of this dude's mouth, bro. What coach says that? What manager says it's not all about winning? Because last I checked, when he signs that $1 million, $2 million, whatever his salary is, it is about winning. It sure is.
I got to read this comment for you. He called you Chris. He corrected himself though. We'll give him a free pass on this, okay?
Yeah.
He said, only person I feel for is Nick. This man probably rushed home from work, turned the game on, jumped in front of a camera, and had to suppress his emotions from a diehard Galaxy fan. Respect.
No. You want me to tell you, bro, are you watching me? Because I literally was supposed to be off at 12 and got off at 11:45 for me to get home.
And make it for the game.
In front of this camera to watch this shitty game and it just to be devastated. So you are 100% right, Ant. Wow. Oh man, you are right. So right. And it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad.
You know, the worst part about it is LAFC couldn't even get a result. They couldn't even get the 1-0 win. They couldn't even get the 1-0. They needed 3. They couldn't even get the 1-0. So now, just to be honest with you guys, there's not even a reason for us to even watch the Flamengo game.
Facts.
It doesn't do anything. They could win it 10. They could win it 10-0 and they're still out.
Facts, bro.
Yeah. It's a shame. I mean, you know, I was pulling for all MLS teams. And I'll tell you what, it's a true surprise, like I said. And we're gonna do a deep dive in this after the game, but it's a real surprise that LAFC ended up having the worst performance of all the MLS teams. I thought they were gonna have the best.
If you don't want to see negativity, this is not going to be the one to watch because, bro, we're about to go win.
Have to. You gotta have honest talks. You know, I saw this quote, and it's so true. I'm gonna live by this. You're gonna hear me say this time. Oh, is there a penalty?
Who gives a shit? It's over.
Who's it a penalty for, though?
We're about to get a penalty.
Yeah, it's
and then
still
we're gonna
over.
come back and it's gonna be tied, but it doesn't matter, bro.
No,
it don't matter.
It don't matter.
No, you get a draw, okay, because we got 8 minutes added. I don't care. Poor.
They still didn't do what they had to do. It's over.
No, it's poor. There's no way you can win now. Even if we go, and this isn't going to happen, Chad, so don't kill me on this. Even if you go and you win 5-0 against Flamengo, you're done. You're done. It don't matter.
You know what's sad is there's probably some LAFC fans, casual fans, that are going to look at this result and say 1-1, if they even make this penalty, right? They're going to say 1-1. And when we absolutely dismantle this team in the post game, they're going to say, "Oh my God, how can you say that? That was a draw. It was 1-1." Penalty. They just didn't watch the game. You had to win this game, but more than this, they just didn't do it. So this changes nothing. They could get 2 late goals. It wouldn't change anything. The Flamengo game means nothing now, because Chelsea's got 3 points. Chelsea's not going to lose to this team. They're just not. Flamengo's got 6 points already. So you would have to have Chelsea lose to this team by more than they lost to Flamengo. And then you would have to have LAFC beat Flamengo by an ungodly number. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You know, I actually feel bad for
me.
Well, yeah, we wrote you off a while ago, though. I actually feel bad for Tunis. They were about to get a huge win, a huge upset, and then they got this BS penalty in the last added time. And guess who's taking it? You know what? If he misses it, dude, if he misses this,
don't do that. God, it went through my mind. It went through my mind, Will. Please,
he better not. If he makes it, he better not celebrate. He had the worst game he's had in years. He missed it. Worst game of his career. 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 Denny Bwanga is a fraud.
What the
Absolute fraud. Absolute fraud. Absolute fraud. Worst game of Denny. Nick left. Dudes, he's got anger management. He's working on it. Okay, he's working on it. He's working on it. But man, Nick, you have to admit, bro, this is the worst game of Denny Bwanga's career. Oh, good save by Lloris, but it doesn't really matter. But this is the worst game of Denny Bwanga's LAFC career. Final whistle. Tunis beats LAFC 1-0. Absolute embarrassment. LAFC should be ashamed of themselves. Didn't play like they needed to play today. Needed a 3-0 win. Didn't even get a goal, guys. Didn't get a shot on goal until like the 80th minute. Absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Mister, don't let Bwanga in the locker room at the end of the game. Don't let him on the plane. Don't let him in the hotel. Don't let him on the bus. Okay? Okay. Nick and I are going to check out here. Appreciate Nick for joining us, by the way. You need to check him out, The Voice of Black and Gold. He'll have a deep dive into this on Sunday, right? You're going to do a show on Sunday?
Well, shouldn't even matter.
You need to. No, you need to, because we need to talk about what's going on in depth. But listen, guys, we're going to check out here. We're going to hop on this recording, do a post game real quick.
Yep.
Oh, I guess they're still going. I guess they're giving them a little extra time. But we're going to do a post game immediately after this. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to drop a post game talking about how bad this was. And that's the game. Appreciate you guys for tuning in with us. Sad for LAFC. Be on the lookout. Barry with a quick $20 super chat. He said, can LAFC buy out Bwanga tonight? If they do,
please.
I appreciate you guys. Be on the lookout for that post game. It'll be out in the next 30 minutes. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Till next time, guys. I'll see you all soon.